So whatever you taught yesterday regarding the sort functions and the filters and all,
That's going to work.
yeah, it was all linked to the table creation. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, when we learn the basics of Excel, it is told from entering the data row and column wise and all these things. So to what much extent we need to be aware about every feature of Excel, or in data science there is a limitation that if you have a sort of limited knowledge between basic and advanced, that works.
So we are learning Excel as a base for you to continue forward. Okay, so that's the main thing. And knowing Excel is always an added advantage because you will want to use it at several other occasions, not necessarily at your workplace. Okay, so that is one of the reason why we are having it, and also you'll get a good knowledge how to handle the databases and how to do the analysis and also create the reports uh, with a by using a user interface. Okay, so other softwares that uses user interface are Tableau or Power BI. Those kind of softwares are very simple to create the reports, but Excel is more powerful compared to this. Like we can do all the even the regression and the statistical approaches we can do with the help of Excel. So you need to explore it a little bit more. So whenever you get time after the session, so that's what I told in the beginning itself. Every day you spend at least 1 hour researching and exploring new things. So we will be covering in the class all the tools that are necessary to operate, but you can just try it out by yourself and you might stumble across something new. Okay, so if you ask me like how much should I learn for each topics, then I don't have a specific answer for that. It all depends on your necessity. So like if you want to keep a track of I keep a track of all the expenses that I make. Okay, also like I share the kitchen with one another guy. So we buy the groceries, everything daily. It might be me who is buying, or it might be him who is buying. So in the month and in the end of the month, we want to divide it equally. So we keep a database where whenever we make a new purchase, we actually add it into it. Okay, so I actually keep the database in Notion. You can keep that in Excel or Google Sheets. Okay, which can also be used to share with other people. Okay, so that's the thing. Or if you are a trader, okay, I also used to trade on the stock market. So I used to keep a track of all the trades that I used to make. Okay, so that is also a healthy way to keep track of how much you are spending and how much loss and profit you are making.
Thank you.
Yeah, hope it is clear. Like we have 45 minutes. Okay, almost. Cool. So yesterday, no, I was not talking. That's why there was no voice. It will be displayed in the recording. Okay, so make your wish accordingly. So okay, here we had our yes, we have our yesterday's data over here. And yesterday, what we covered, we like discussed about the interface of Excel. Okay, we try to create a summary. Okay, and then we explored like how to format each of the data. Like there are so many formats available. Okay, currency is there, different sorts of number is there. We can always go to this more number formats. These are the shortcuts ones. And if whatever we want is not present over here, you can always go to more number formats and just create formats of your own. Okay, so we can even go and create custom formats. Okay, So this is something that you should be exploring by yourself, because if we are going to cover this in the class, it will take a long time and it's going to be pretty boring as well, because it depends on each of us, our, you know, where we are working. So depending on the domain and depending on our industry, what project what we are doing, we can create custom formats. So for example, if you want to create uh, fictional currency, okay, and we have a fictional currency logo, we can add that logo over here and then use this format and it will be displayed accordingly as a currency. Or we can create our own custom date, time, uh, etc. There is a the scope of creativity over here is like, it's non-stop. Hey, am I not audible? Please confirm. Guys, please confirm in the chat if I am audible or not. Okay, clear. Okay. So, as I said yesterday, um, yesterday we stopped at the summary point. So today we will continue from that point. So, did anyone can someone help me add this saving spent? So I think I wanted to use sum if, right? So, those people who can help me solve it. Oh, great, Mohit, thank you. Thank you for helping me. I'm just going to copy paste whatever you have written over here. Let's see if it works. Okay. Oh, great. It worked. Okay. So just like that in credits, I can just copy the same thing. I will go over here. Savings. Instead of savings, I can just change it to credit. Okay. So one thing you can check, you can make it capital letter and press enter. Still, it doesn't change. So it means that it is not case sensitive. Okay. So I gave small letter over here. Still, the answer is same. So we don't have a case sensitive issue over here. Very good, Mohit. See, yesterday I didn't even talk about how to deal with the criteria and all, but Mohit just was able to solve it. That is great. So I'm just going to go over to that and explain how to do it. Okay. So if you were to check how much is the spending, so let's take a look at our table just before moving forward. So we have our expenditures for the month, and some of the expenses are paid from the credit account and some of the expenses are paid through the savings account. So I wanted to know how much I spent through the savings account and the credit account. So to get it separately, the sum total of all the expenses from savings and credit in a separated manner, then you can use sum if. Okay. Animation, I'm getting into that. Okay. So here I'm going to enter the formula. Okay. Equal to sum if. Press the tab button and in the range, you can select the range as our table name is expense. Okay. If you don't have a table name, you can always go to the table and then select it. Okay. So it's not an issue. And this range, okay, this range is for the criteria range. Okay. Great, great, great. Okay. So that is the difference um, in the sum f. Okay. So this range is going to be the range of the criteria. So what is our criteria? The bank account has to be savings. Okay. So I'll open a square bracket. Inside that, I will select bank account and press tab button. Okay. Then I will put a comma in criteria. Criteria is a text actually. Okay. So you can put it as a text Or you can also do it in a different manner that which I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so criteria, I'm going to write it as savings. So if you write savings like this, it's going to give you an error. Okay, because Excel will not read this, which is why you have to keep it in. You have to put it inside quotation marks. Okay, so this quotation will convert this into a. You can call it a string. Okay, I call it string because in Python also it is called a string. And the sum range. So what is our sum range? So if we are not, you can see that the sum range is given as a square bracket over here. Square bracket typically means that it is optional. So the same thing applies in Python. Okay, just remember this, guys. When we are going to learn Python, I will show you how to be independent and to, you know, stop depending a lot on Google. Okay, and just be capable of solving everything by your own. I will teach according to that only. Okay, so when I teach, I will be focusing more on the documentation part. Okay, I will help you to read the Python documentation, the official documentation of Python. So in that, you have to get familiarized with how the documentation works, so that you don't have to refer to any other websites. So usually the people have this habit, like whenever, even after, when they see a um, new function in Python, okay, or in Excel, anywhere. Even I have seen my colleagues as well, when they see a new function, they just go to Google and search it out, because that is the easiest way. And then they will go to this other websites like W3 Schools or Geeks for Geeks, and then get the read out of there. Okay, so it is quite easy. I agree to that, but reading it from the Python's official documentation has its own advantages. Okay, maybe it's a little bit messy over there, but it might be a little bit complicated, the writings, everything, but it has all the information that you will ever need. Okay, that's the main thing. So you have to get a hang of all these terms. So this is a square bracket here, means it's optional. You don't have to enter it. If you don't enter the sum range here, Excel is going to go and uh, consider this range as a sum range also. But since it is text, it is not going to calculate any sum from this. So which is why we have to enter a sum range. So here our sum range is going to be again expense, and our row is going to be the amount. Okay, close the square bracket and close the parenthesis. Okay, which is how we got the answer. Hope things are clear. And I'm going to write the same thing over here with the credit. Okay, and also, if I copy this entire thing over here, I'll paste it in this cell. Wait, I'll paste it in this cell. Press enter, and here I will say spent category bank account. Then I will write over here. Just look carefully what I'm doing. Okay, I'll write here savings. Okay, and instead of, I will modify this formula. Instead of writing savings over here, I'm going to delete that and just going to click on this. Okay, so this is going to give you the same thing. Okay, I can also go ahead and do this. And if I change the credit over here, see, it will be updated. So you can give that also, which makes our system more dynamic. Or you can go over to data. Where is data validation? Okay, data validation is here. Data validation is used for adding drop downs. Okay, drop down list. So I will go to data validation, settings, allow any value. Okay, or we can make it a phone number or text. You can put a limitation to whatever we are going to enter. So ignore text custom, text length, date list. Okay, it's going to be list. We will add a list. Okay, so the source I'll write here savings credit. Okay. See, that is also cool, right? In the formula, what do we call comma? Okay. So the comma is the quotation. We can call it as a string. Amita, we can also select criteria from the table instead of writing it in the text. Of course, we can do it, Amita. Uh, can you please repeat? Yes, yes, yes. 1 second. So, Ishan, Ishan, what was it? What was your name? Islam. From what point should I repeat? Even Venkatesh has asked me to repeat. From what point? Is it the? Do you want to unmute? Okay, that one. Sure. Islam.
Yes, sir. Actually, I want you to repeat from the part when you have put this bank account and saving in the below columns, and then to the validation part as well.
Okay, fine. Getting there. Okay, I'm just going to remove all the validation, everything. Okay, I'll just go home, go to the home ribbon, clear all. Okay. Still the data validation is there. I'm just going over here, data validation, clear validation circles. Why is it still there? Clear all. Okay. I think it's a glitch. Okay. It's nothing we are doing wrong over here. It's a glitch, I guess. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go over here and then, okay, we'll just pasted the formula. I've just pasted the same formula. Okay. Just because I'm lazy, that's it. Uh, and here I'm just going to write sum. Sum or else total. Okay. See guys, I have this clipboard manager which I'm using, which I thought might be handy for people like you guys. Okay. So, so you can actually also use this thing in your um, for your purposes. Okay. So there is an app called as Ditto. Okay. Ditto clipboard for Windows and copy Q for Mac OS. Okay. Try these two. Okay. This will save everything that you will copy. Okay. Whenever you press Control C, if you take a screenshot, if you copy a video, if you copy a file, everything is going to be saved in the clipboard, and you can use it again and again. Okay, it will save only up to 200, and anything over the 200, it will, the older ones get deleted. So it's a nice way to increase your productivity. Okay, so I always use this kind of clipboard managers, which helps me in a lot of stuff. So I have just copied it, and I will just write over here category, and let's type savings. Okay. So I'm going to map the formula. Before the formula was looking for a string called as savings. Okay. So instead of the savings, okay, return, I'm just going to change it to this cell. Okay. I'm just writing in the criteria part. I'm just going to write here G5. G5 is the reference of this column. That's it. Other than that, there is nothing. Okay. And now it will work dynamically. And adding the data validation is also quite simple. It's just a matter of whenever we complete something, it's a must. It's a very must that you should go and practice it out. Otherwise, you're going to forget it. On the first day during the induction itself, I explained you have to learn how to learn. Okay. If you're not practicing what you're learning, then it's not going to stick in your mind. So our memory is volatile, and it's going to eventually, you're going to forget whatever you're going to learn. So there is a strategy called as spaced repetition. It is a scientifically proven technique in order to learn. Spaced repetition is something like today you will learn math, okay, and tomorrow you learn physics, okay. So you will revise math again over here. So here it's like +2 days, and if you remember everything, then you go for physics revision. Okay, so that's also +2 days. Then you learn chemistry. Then like that you go. Then you will again revise math. Okay, after 4 days, or maybe you can say 7 days. Then after 7 days, if you still remember everything, you can make the space to 14. Okay, and make it to 25. Then make it 1.5 months. Then make it 2 months. Okay, in that way you will remember what you have learned for a pretty long period of time. Okay, always revise accordingly. If you revise every day also, it's not going to help. Okay, it's going to uh, you know mess up your time management and everything, and then you will lose all the track. So keep a track whichever you're comfortable. I'm comfortable keeping the things digitally, and if you are comfortable keeping it in the notebook, then you can go ahead and keep a track of things in the notebook. Okay, getting back to our stuff, the data validation. uh, Go to the data ribbon and then click on data validation. There are multiple settings available over here. Okay, you can just try it out everything. Okay, the most of the best uh, use comes in list. Okay, so in the list you can go and select a series of a range of items, or you can enter it over here. So I'm going to write credit comma savings. Okay, whatever you're writing over here, the comma is going to separate each items, and there is a drop down list. Okay, hope things are getting clear. Deleting all these things. Any shortcut, check it by yourself. uh, because it's a since I don't use it every day, I'm not very familiar with the shortcuts nowadays. Only I'm just familiar with the old shortcuts that I used to use when I started. I So all these things, the data validation also, I used to use shortcuts only. So I think alt, and I don't know what would be the remote name over here if you use the alt keys. Okay, using alt keys you can or almost do anything. Okay, so just get familiar with that. That's it. It was just part of my muscle memory. I never used to think even. I just blindly type. Okay, so office equipment count. So we have this another formula called as COUNTIF. Okay, the COUNTIF is also similar to what the range would be, range and criteria. So we will enter the range expense and expense category, office equipment expense. Sorry, press tab, expense category, and then criteria would be, we will go over here and copy it. Office equipment. Okay, just copy it and paste. See, there are 6. Okay, so then the next thing, we will add a beautiful uh, table, chart also. So you can go to insert. Okay, and I'll just select this entire numerical data, the prices, and I will go to this bar chart, which is the first thing here. Just zoom in so that you guys can see it more clearly. Okay, here I have the chart, and I will just go for a 2D bar chart. Okay, this one. It will appear like magic. And you can see that, our data is actually now pretty much aligned according to what it is written over here. It has done some sort of sorting, I guess, so which we don't care. We can just right click and click the select data in order to change these numbers and add our relevant information. Okay, the description. So go to select data. So the layout is going to be a little bit different in Windows and Mac. Okay, just it's a matter of just taking a look at it. Okay, nothing is complicated. All right. Go to horizontal category. So in Windows, it's going to be like, find the horizontal category access labels. Okay. So always you guys can help each other. So, it's not necessary that just the instructor has to um, give you all the things directly. So, even I think almost more than half of the people might get what I'm saying over here. And if some people are not able to find the right place, it's always okay to not get things correctly. You can ask, and people can help. You guys should help each other, okay, and work together. I'm just going to select the data range and copy this thing, click on this again, and click OK. Okay, and nothing has been changed, which is weird. Sorry, horizontal axis. I'm just going to do the same thing again. What I'm doing wrong. Okay, I don't know what happened previously. Can you please repeat this decoration part? Decoration, I didn't do any decoration so far. What decoration? Okay, now I have all the information about laptops. Okay, you can even go to, you can even sort, if I sort it, it also sorts the data. And if you click this chart, you will get a new option called as chart design. Okay, where you can actually click and get new information. See, new styles. You can even change the colors. You can put green color. This one seems to be good. Okay, you can even click this button, and there are so many other styles. You can check each one of them. And then first time how you put. Okay. So I'm just gonna repeat how I got the chart. I selected this numerical data, the amount. Okay, then I went to insert, and inside the insert, this is the place where you have all the charts. Okay, and I selected the first one, which is the bar chart. Okay, inside that, I selected this 2D bar chart. If you just click that, you will get a chart. Try it by yourself. It's nothing complicated. Okay, now I can just press Control X. Control X over here. Now I can press Control X over here, and then go to the summary sheet and then paste it here. Okay. You can also go to view and okay. So this is all about our small summary sheet. Okay. So I'm just going to, okay. Now I just open another set of data so that I can explain you some of the text functions. So just going to increase the size so everything is clear. Okay, so let's do some text functions. Insert. I think Control I is the shortcut for text function, I mean inserting. So text functions. Okay. So text functions are just simple formulas, okay, for manipulating the text. So yesterday we have covered how to filter, how to sort everything. Okay. So here you have a data. I'm going to hide some of the, just remove. Okay. I'm just going to remove this gender, or maybe age is there. I'm going to remove the ID. Okay. Delete. Now we have just the first name and last name. Okay. So the first thing first, the upper function. Okay. 50, 60. Press upper and tab. Okay, and you can go to the first cell. Okay, which is A3, and select. Okay, it's going to shift all the characters to uppercase. Okay, and if you just drag down, you can just click the corner of this cell and drag down, and it will work for all the other cells over here. Okay, so this is the upper function, and then we have lower function. So lower function is also similar. If I just go to last name and use the lower, it's going to convert everything to lowercase. Okay, I can just select this many cells and press Control D. Okay, Control plus D. The Control plus D means it is going to populate down. Okay, and there is Control plus R, which is going to populate right side. Okay, so this is the upper function, this is the lower function, and also, if you want, I can use the lower function on this formula itself, on the uppercase, and it converted everything into lower. Then we have the concatenate function. Okay, so it is concat. So the first text will be this, and the second text is going to be last name. Okay, see, it just combined it together. Okay, but what if you want a space? If you want a space, what you can do is, okay, between these two, add one more comma, and in between that, add a space like this. Okay, so which will also give you a space over here. Okay, hope things are clear. If you drag down, see, our job is done easily. Okay, then this is called as the concat. Then there is left and right. Okay, so it's equal to left. Left means we select the text. We can select this text and put a comma and number of characters. We can select number of characters 5. See, I can make it 4. Agree. If I make it 3, ABR. First 3. First 2. Okay, so it's from the left, it displays like that. The right function, just the opposite. Okay, see, bro, all the 4 characters in the end. And then we have the trim function. Okay, the trim function, what it does is that it just removes unwanted spaces from the beginning and the end. Okay, if you have a word like this, okay, if it is like this, then it won't consider the space in between as a thing to trim. It will only consider whatever is before the D and after L. Okay, the beginning and the end of the text. That's what trim is going to take care of. So if I'm going to trim some text, trim this one, nothing is going to happen here because there is no text before and after, but also in the middle there is a space, but trim is not going to remove that. Why we need to use this trim is because when we are actually having some data for machine learning, okay, or we are going to we have some categorical data, and it was, always there will be human errors when these informations are added. So if it is manually entered, so when we are going to do some sort of analysis, then we need to get rid of all the unwanted errors that's over there. Otherwise, these softwares are going to calculate these unwanted spaces as objects. Hope it is clear. Can you give the example of trim? Yeah, sure. Let's go down. Okay. Yeah. And wait. If I use the function length, sorry, is equal to length. See, okay. If I add spaces to Bruce, it will turn out to be 11. Okay. Now, if I use the trim, I'll use trim over here, or maybe I will use, okay, I will use it over here only. No need. Let's go down here, trim, and the text. I'll click Bruce. Okay. Now Bruce lost all the unwanted spaces. I will check the length. Now it's 5. Same thing goes with the vein. So trim this one is equal to length. See, Bruce and Wayne, Bruce Wayne. So it's like I'm Batman. If I write it over here, and by mistake I added some extra space in the end. Okay, so that is going to give us some extra letters over here. And if I just use trim and use length here, see, it just corrects it. Okay. Okay, Yogesh, what's wrong with you? Okay, so other than this, all the text functions, okay. Guys, I'm going to hide these much, okay, so that it's getting messy. If you want to unhide it, okay, just double click here, okay, or just right click and unhide, okay, or right click over here and unhide. Okay, see, so that is how you hide and unhide things. Hide. Okay, so we'll do some of the other. We have 6 more minutes. Okay, I'll just unhide it. Okay, cancel. I'm going to save this. Okay, coming back to our this thing, you can also include some more like average in the previous data that we were using. I will add some more information which I just remember right now. Okay, I forgot to add average expenses. Okay, And average expenses, it automatically just color brought the same formats over here, is equal to average. Okay, and the data would be, I will just go directly to the data table and, you know, click this, and let's see, this is our average. Okay, and let's keep the border, and see, there are so much decimal places over here, so I can just reduce it. Okay, I can increase, and also I can decrease using these two buttons. Okay, see these two buttons, which is in the home ribbon only, below the um, below this data type thing. Okay, click on that. See, 3022, that is our average. Okay, so that is our average expenses for this month. And also expenses, we can keep a track, like, if you want to keep an average of, now the average is like 3000 is a little bit high, which I know. We can keep the average as 3000 only, or let's keep it like 1500 as an average. Okay, that is the average expenses that we can do per item or per day. Per item doesn't make any sense, but still, I'm just going to, let's imagine like that. Okay, so just going to select all these things, and I can go to conditional formatting, and I can add a condition like highlight cell rows. You guys can see my screen, right? Less than, greater than. Whenever it is greater than, it will highlight. So cell value greater than 1500. Or maybe I can just keep it 2000. Okay. And also, you can change the style. Okay, click OK. So these 4 items are actually have exceeded our average, and the rest of them are okay. Okay, that much we can know from this conditional formatting. And conditional formatting is quite extensive, that you can also you know make rules for greater than, less than. When I used to have my trading table, okay, so it was like date was there, and ticker, okay, and buy price, sell price, okay, average, current price. I had all these things like this. Okay, and P&L. Okay, I had the profit or loss thing also over here. So whenever it is profit, it used to turn green, and whenever it was loss, it used to turn red. Okay, so I also had a small chart where all the Zerodha's additional charges and stuff were written, so that whenever I add an information over here, it will automatically compute all the math. Okay, with the GST and like all the brokerages, everything would be added, and after that only it will calculate my P&L. So even if I do the necessary math, sometimes it turns out to be wrong, because so this tracker was actually helping me a lot to keep a proper idea about how much I was spending, okay, how much I was making or losing. And conditional formatting has another, like it can search for a text that is inside thing. You can highlight whenever there is savings, highlight, okay, text that containing savings, you can write over here, and then red border. That doesn't make any sense. Text that contains. Okay, if you have already created a rule, you can go to manage rules. Okay, so it's already here. You can modify it by writing yellow. See, whenever there is savings, it highlights. So these are the sorts of, and also you can go over here, you can explore more. There are data bars. Okay, it will give you so you can use it for space repetitions and all. Whenever you are when you have completed a certain number of revisions, it will increase the bars. Okay, you can keep bars. You can make beautiful habit trackers and for yourself. This is something that you should explore yourself. There are so many different roles, and you know, after this, um, we will be completing the Excel in like in a, in 3 more weeks. After 3 more weeks, we will complete Excel. After that, we'll start with SQL. So after completing Excel, SQL, and okay, that was I got scared. Uh, so after completing SQL, we might go for some boot camps sessions, which will happen during weekdays. So it is not part of the weekend sessions, but you can always go and attend it. It would be really interesting and all if you have time. If you don't have time, it would be totally fine. Okay, that would it's something for the later on stages, so don't have to worry about it right now.